The city of hosts the penultimate round with Revo on pole from Catfish and Lars Leclerc. Then it's Oscar Folstad, Sebastian Ocampo's teammate Daf Sanchez, then home driver Remy LeBeau, and here is Sebastian Ocampo. Then it's Ray Shan, Zach Wallace, Pierre Gasly starts 10th from teammate Cable and Marcus Nelson. Then it's the Red Devil out qualified by his teammate once more. Then it's Iker World, Denali Gabo, Bogdasarov, the worst of all the French drivers on the grid in terms of qualifying. Then it's Babinus Jr., Kubica, Sierra, Rotak, Pedisis, and Versteeg. The penultimate round of the championship. If Revo can win today and Catfish is outside of the top 8, he is champion. All 5 lights have gone on. And we are underway. Good start from Catfish off the line. He's already in front of Revo before they make it down into turn 1. As it would stand, he would be the championship leader, tied on points as they head into turn number 1. Catfish far ahead into the lead. Folstad trying to go down the inside on Revo. Can he make the move stick? He has. Folstad is done, but then he started this race on pole, and Revo, his championship hopes diminished already. Here comes Folstad down the inside. He takes the lead. Oscar Folstad leads in Paris, but Catfish comes back in and says, no, you can't do that, as Ocampo gets a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision further back. And Leclerc right in front of Revo, who's trying to go for the slow burner this time. Iker World on the hard tyres in 13th position. He's the only man on those hard tyres. The optimal strategy around here is to try and do either a soft medium or that in reverse, because it does seem like a one-stop strategy will be very plausible around here. Pierre Gasly, track limits warning, is first of the day in 7th position as his teammate drops down to 12th. Bogdasarov had a pretty good start. Remy LeBeau has held station, but out in front, Folstad taking the lead away from the awful Catfish. Daf Sanchez going into the slipstream of Revo right in front of him. Gasly is a man on a mission, but so is Ray Shan. Ocampo 10 seconds for causing a collision. The record is 15 in an ERL sanctioned event with the current penalty rules, and Folstad certainly up ahead. Catfish is currently scoring 18 points with 2nd position. Revo is scoring 12. We would leave here with the gap in the championship being 1 point. Revo is currently holding on to the championship lead by a thread. If he drops to 5th, then he'd be behind by, 1 point. So it's all going to come down to strategy and just how well these cars can follow each other, as well as overtaking. Whilst the 2nd sector goes to Revo on a day where he could win the championship if he finishes 2nd and Catfish is outside of the points. He could win the championship as Marcus Nelson, getting a track limits warning in 10th position. The midfield pack is going absolutely hog wild. But this is the only attack mode activation point. So on to the 3rd lap. Many a driver setting new fastest laps. Revo with a 1:11.483, slower than in qualifying. As we head through turn number 1 with the mid-pack and the top 4 separated by under a second. This is a dogfight for the race lead. Down the inside comes Catfish under the lights into the lead. Leclerc following him through. And can the Monegasque Briton try and take the lead? Folstad 5-second time penalty. That's going to throw a spanner into the works. Here comes Leclerc into the race lead in front of the championship hoper. And the number 16 into the lead here in Paris, and Revo dropping off the back. If I'm in Revo's shoes, I'd probably be thinking, alright, when it's lap number 10, it is go time. That is go time. Here comes Catfish going alongside Folstad. He was trying to go alongside with Leclerc, but he lost out. He's losing tons of time down there for whatever reason. And he's also holding up Revo, which is good for the Italians' title challenge, in fact, because if it is like this, yes, Catfish closes the gap, but it only becomes 5 points heading into the final round of the season. So that gives Revo a little more breathing room as Gasly, fastest lap of the E-Prix at 1:11.233. As Folstad still looking for a way to get past. That 5-second time penalty will hinder him when it's time to pit. On board with Leclerc, and he's at 67% tyre wear. So yes, likely to be a one-stop around here with pit stops between lap 6 and lap number 9 if you're on the softs. hard tire stop should come very late into the race, but still in the race nonetheless. But even then, the only man on the hards is Ika Weldon. He's currently got 7 more, or he's got 7% more. Catfish re-overtaking Revo. Big for the championship, but not the most intriguing of moves. Just went around the outside of him. Seemed very easy indeed, but Revo's still right with him. So I'm pretty sure that Tachita probably will not be too fast. Especially considering that currently they would be finishing 2nd and 3rd. A 3-point swing in Catfish's favor, cutting the championship gap to 4 points. And even if Catfish does make the move on Falstad, as it would stand, nothing changes due to the time penalty that the Norwegian man has. So now Catfish up into 2nd position, but he's now going to have to defend like a madman, as Remy LeBeau defending from his championship rival. No, Gasly is his countryman, as Falstad sends it back down the inside and taking 2nd position with that move. Remy is closing in. Oh my goodness, this is going to be very interesting. Every mistake made in this race now, for the guys in the top 4, is going to be detrimental. They go off track by just a little bit and they could see themselves dropping down to 7th position. That is insane, but Leclerc leading from Falstad and Catfish. The fans hoping that we enter Tokyo with a dead heat. And for that to happen, the easiest way for that to happen is Catfish and Revo 1 and 2. As you can see, Gasly defending from Remy LeBeau right behind Revo. This is going to be scary if you're a Tachita fan. Single file going all the way back to Ray Shen, and you see some drivers heading into pit row, including Ray Shen, in fact, as down the inside comes Oscar Falstad to the race lead here in Paris, but that time penalty will hinder him. He's coming back. Leclerc goes alongside. Kubica further back. 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. Ocampo has served his 10-second time penalty. Shen has gone onto the hard and will be able to make it to the end of this race. Of course, if you want to do hard tires, then yeah, you can. It'll be a lot easier. Ooh, 6 laps done, and the soft's already looking like that. If I'm Revo, I'm going to try and extend to lap number 8, if possible. But 54% tire wear, he's going to lose a lot of pace for all the pace he'll gain by going onto the softs in the final 6 laps around this track. Remy LeBeau, however, closing up as well. He's 8/10 off the back. Revo's dropping off the back of the race leaders alongside Catfish. In fact, both drivers losing some pace with the lack of grip that they've got. Vestiera's found his way up into 11th. In comes race leader Leclerc and Remy LeBeau. Gonna remain with Remy and just take a look at his pit stop, keeping your eyes on the timing tower in case something interesting happens up front, but I doubt it. Medium's going on for Leclerc. What is this stop going to be like for him? Is he held? He was held for a bit of time there just to prevent an unsafe release, but apart from that, completely fine at half race distance. And with the fact that the race leaders are out there on soft tyres at half race distance, and so is Revo, this is going to be a one-stop for them at the very least. There's a chance that some of them will do the 2-stop strategy. Ocampo re-emerged at the back of the pack, by the way. He's going to be 21st after Scuttleland's pitted and comes out at the back. And for Ocampo, that's just truly unfortunate considering that he is going for a high-ranking championship position. Falstad is defending from a lion and another lion. He's got 2 championship contenders right behind. As it would stand, it is going to be Catfish from Revo. But here comes the Malaysian man, all over the back, scrolling over the back like a mouse or a cat. And he's into the pits. Revo's following them in. Revo into the pits. To the lead goes Daf Sanchez. Soft tires going on for the Italian. And the big thing that you want to take a look at is Leclerc and Remy LeBeau. These are the guys that they will be racing on pit exit. On board we go with Leclerc. He's on the mediums. What's his lap time looking like? Is it something record-shattering? Because as it stands, he will Will he resume the race lead? He does resume the race lead. Remy LeBeau moves up to second at home. A net P2 for Remy is insane. But look at that from Revo and Catfish going alongside each other. Here comes the 7 into the lead, and Wallace further up the field, colliding with the side of U-Cable and getting a 5-second time penalty as he moves up into second position on the road. And for Revo and Catfish now, this is the game plan. If I'm in the seat of Catfish, I want to work with Revo here and then absolutely dump and run him at the line. I want to follow in a slipstream for the rest of this race, keep in touch with him, and then on the last lap get past him on the final turn just to style on him and have a little bit of fun with it. As Revo actually all over the back of Ray Shen. You can see behind Remy. On board we go with the 7, closing in on the 33. In come the top brass. I think the race leader will be Lawless Clerk once more. No, it'll be Ika Weldy staying out on lap 9. Here comes Revo alongside Clerk. Alongside Shen, rather, up into 7th position. He's going to be gaining a lot more than that with attack mode. He's closing in on Remy LeBeau. But the goal for Revo right now is to drop Catfish. And the goal for Catfish right now is to grab onto Revo like a cat to its owner. And he's sending it down the inside on Shen. That's a good way to do it. And he got so much momentum coming out through there. He's so close to the back of Revo for a second. But he had to lift a little bit just to make sure that he didn't come into contact with him. Now this is a familiar sight. The two Trackhouse boys going at it side by side. They maintain each other in contact for Ica with the side of his own teammate. Clerk leads now, but Ica's hard to, they've had it. They're going on strike at this point. 39% tire wear. He's gonna have to pit. And while yes, it was interesting to see how they would do, I think we've seen the best from Ica's tires. As you can see, Revo closing in on Remy. Clerk leading, and we expect Remy LeBeau we expect Ika Well to pit very soon. He has not stopped to start lap 10, however. And Revo with attack mode, a 111.150 fastest lap. He's closing in. He's closing in. And he's not quite close enough to make the move yet through the long turn number 1. He's still right there with him. He's alongside and up into second position right now. And with Catfish in 5th, the gap in the championship leaving here is currently 15 points. A 3rd place finish next time out currently would be all it would take to actually take the championship. It'd actually probably be a little less than 3rd, but, you know, it seems nice to double up as Remy goes alongside with Ika. And what can Catfish do? He can follow in the slipstream of Remy LeBeau and follow that draft to get up into 4th. Can he get past the Frenchman and chase after the Italian? Yeah, bet you can! Catfish moves up into 3rd position and is now free to chase after Revo. But again, at this point, to make the most out of any championship advantage he can get, he's going to have to wait for Revo to get past Clerk. He needs to wait for the Italian to get close to the back of the British monogasque driver right in front. If he can do that, it's going to be simple sailing for the race win as Ika finally makes his first stop of this race, and everyone's made at least one so far. 74% for Catfish. What is Revo's looking like? 68 with 3 to go. Should be fine to the checkered flag, however, we expect Revo's tyres around lap 13 to start behaving like Ika's were on lap 10. That is grip. What is that? That's what the soft tyres are going to be behaving like around the penultimate and final laps. 1.659 seconds. That's John Cena's number. Call it right now. 1.61295718329. That's John Cena's number. Call it right now. As Zeno Mars once said. I don't know what I'm doing anymore at these commentary moments. It's very early in the morning. For me, of course, when I'm recording this. As Gasly, 5-second time penalty at home. Even under the lights, he still faces adversity as Falstad track limits. This is not going the way of either driver. Revo, I think he's going to get attack mode. He doesn't actually have attack mode. He's using attack charge to close up and reel into the back of Lawless Leclerc. Now, if Catfish with attack mode, if he can reel in in Revo right in front. He's built up a gap to Remy LeBeau, 2 seconds behind. This could happen for Catfish. He's just got to play his cards right. He needs to pull his ace out at the very end of this race, and he could have the championship lead going to a dead heat into Tokyo as Sanchez moves up to 4th, Sierra further back. Oh, that's Remy LeBeau. Remy LeBeau slow. He's got a front puncture. So the home driver, he spears into the barriers with U-Cable. And for Remy LeBeau, his first ever Paris E-Prix will end in tragedy. Cosmas Benitez gets a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. There were yellow flags, nothing apart from that. Revo's closing in, 10 seconds for Medicis. Revo closing in on Lawless Leclerc, but we are still watching the home driver's hopes blow up in a plume of smoke, but we don't have engines. Nelson, third track limits warning is Ica closing up to the back and getting past cleanly. Here comes Revo. On to the penultimate lap we go, and the Italian driver takes the lead at the Parisian E-Prix. Revo leads in Paris in front of Leclerc, and in terms of the tyres situation, Leclerc's probably not got too much left. Out of the top 3, the man with the best performing tyres is the man in 3rd position. It is Catfish's time to shine, sending it down the inside on Lawless Leclerc he goes. Here he is, up into 2nd position. Now, one more obstacle in his path to power. Can he get past Revo? Can he do it? Can he take the lead of this race, stay in front of Revo for the final lap? But more pressingly than that, enter Tokyo with a 7-point swing that would see them level on points. The first time this has ever happened in the ERL's entire history since the 5th ever ERL season between B-Dragon Sonic and Rodney Silva. It's been a lot harder to come by, with seasons being a lot more varied in length, but this is the best moment of ever as Remy LeBeau finally comes in, rounding the final turn. We're on to the final lap in the penultimate round of the ERL Formula E Series. Leclerc has dropped off the back. This is it. This could be the move for the race lead and to level each other in the championship. Catfish sends it down the inside. He takes the lead in Paris. He's in front of Revo. He's going to have to hold on for the rest of the lap. He's got only now 13-ish more turns to hold on. Defends the inside line. Covers off Revo. He's done it. 4/10 is the gap. Revo is currently, he doesn't have an answer for him. He's half a second off the back. There's only one more opportunity for Revo to ruin the Malaysian driver's dreams, and that is the final turn onto the main straight. That's seemingly unlikely with the state of his soft tyres, 33% tyre wear, but he is still roughly half a second back. Leclerc is nowhere to be seen, and on this final lap, we are poised for an absolute grandstand finish in Season 22 between the man with the most championships of anyone on the current grid and the man yet to take a championship for he or his team. Rounding the final turn, Catfish will do it. He will take the Parisian E-Prix from Revo with a new fastest lap, 1:11.133. Sanchez in 4th takes a 1:10.549, and we will roll over to Tokyo, the final round for the championship decider. It will be level on points. Can you believe it? As you can see, the rest of the pack come across the line now. Ica World sets a 1:10.116. But my oh my, can you believe it, with U-Cable coming across the line with a car that's ready for the dumpster. What a podium, and what 2 drivers to be on it. Catfish takes victory from Revo and Lawless Leclerc. Leclerc ran a good race, but on the final few laps, his tyres just couldn't hold up. Then it's Sanchez, Falstad, Gabo, Gasly, Shen, the Red Devil, Bogdasarov, Sierra, Nelson, Vesthio, Babnis Jr., Ocampo, Kubica, Wallace, Ica, Scudlin, Rotak, Medicis, U-Cable, and Remy LeBeau was a lap down. The driver standings look like this, tied on 213 points. That is the situation between Catfish and Revo. At the top of the standings, at the top of the stairs, it's Malaysia versus Italy. Then it's Nelson, Leclerc, Gasly, Remy Lebeau, Ocampo, Bogdasarov, Iker World, Sanchez, the last of the drivers who have hit that big 100. Then it's Verstio, Kubica, Babinus Jr., Wallace, Red Devil, Falstad, Shen, Cable, Gabo, Sierra, Medicis, and Rosak in the constructors' standings heading into the final round in Season 22. Well, it's already been confirmed that DS Techeetah are the constructors' champions. But after this, it's Sims Porsche currently in second from Trackhouse Mercedes and DS Andretti. Then it's Kiro Porsche poised to become Jaguar next season. Then it's Mercedes EQ, Power Renault, Team Edams Renault, DS Venturi Formula E Team, McLaren Mercedes and Nissan Nismo, who next season will become the app-shaped Audi Sport team. Well, what a race here in Paris to end it off like that. Catfish taking victory, and us now once again seeing a championship go down to the wire, level on points. Next time in the ERL, we'll be in Laguna Seca for the IndyCar series. But once we get back to full electric racing, we will be in Tokyo for the final race in the ERL Formula E series.